Hey, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we have here is the Shofuku Blue No. 2 Nakiri 165mm knife. And what this one is constructed of, or how it's made, is you've got 3 layers. The center hard core cutting steel is Aogami or blue paper No. 2, reactive high carbon steel. Heat treats about 61 to 62 Rockwell typically on that core steel. And on either side of that hard core steel, you've got a soft reactive iron cladding. And then they put a Kudauchi or blacksmith protective finish on that. And then on top of all that, they've got a food safe lacquer finish that goes all the way over the entire blade as well. So there's quite a lot going on there. The lacquer finish you can let just wear away normally as you use the knife, and it'll start gradually wearing as you use it, or some people strip it right off the bat with acetone, let the blade start doing its reactivity thing. Just depends on what you want to do with it, either way. The weight and dimensions will vary a little bit from knife to knife. This particular one is 163 grams or 5.7 ounces. And the edge length is about 165 on the useful cutting edge on this. Overall length about 310 millimeters from the tip or the front of the blade to the back of the handle. Spine thickness, they've got a fair amount of thickness coming out of the handle, but then it goes thin pretty quick. So I measured above the back of the blade about 3 millimeters, but then it hits 1.7 halfway down and like 1.2 or 1.3 near the end. So it thins out quite a bit. So it's pretty stiff towards the back, and then towards the front it's still fairly stiff, but it's got a little bit of give to it. But it thins out nicely. The blade height, I measured about 49 millimeters at the back, and about the middle about 47.75, so it loses just a little bit of height as you go. Pretty typical of this style of blade. The handle is oval hardwood. It's a really neat look to it. It's very smoothly finished. There's no like gap or jump there that I can feel. It's a very smooth transition between the ferrule and the main part of the handle. The glue up looks pretty clean, and the circumference on the handle is about 73, 74 millimeters where the two materials meet, about 2.9 inches. They don't have a lot of gap here, so there's not like a full-on spot for your finger. My personal preference is to have a little more gap there, but that's kind of where they put this. So, but you can get your finger in there for a pinch grip. And the handle is hardwood. That brings the balance point back just a little bit, but there's your balance point. So pretty close to pinch grip, maybe slightly behind it. So kind of a neutral feel, maybe just a touch handle heavy in terms of the bias, but not much. You're pretty darn neutral. This blade is pretty light towards the end because it's thinner. That brings the balance point back a little bit. The knife is nice looking. It's got some hammer marks to it, kind of a smooth finish. The lacquer is going to make it smoother than it would be without the lacquer, but it's still a fairly smooth finish, but you've got some hammer marks in there. Kind of let you know it's hammered, not just an assembly line product, so you got some handcrafted look to it. You've got a Kasumi type finish here on the blade road, and then you can see the edge steel a little bit more polished showing through. Here is the close-up. You've got some hand-chiseled kanji, hand engraved, and you can feel those really well when you run your finger across them. So that's the right side of the blade. Left side of the blade is embossed with a symbol. And again, you can see just a little bit of handcrafted character to it. It's been relieved a little bit at the kind of rounded at the spine. It's got some nice relief on the corners of the choil into the neck, so it's very comfortable. Out of the box edge is a little hard to tell because it has lacquer on it. Looks like it has a kind of a quick edge bevel on it, but it's hard to tell the sharpness. I would say you'd probably want to put your own edge on this out of the box. The lacquer does tend to get right up on the edge there. Let's see, let's take a look at the cutting board profile. And you'll see this thing is flat, flat, flat. So that's pretty darn flat. So kind of pop right in there. You got a little bit of back relief on the heel there, just a little bit, but it flows into a pretty flat stop there. So this one's going to be a serious, serious chopper. So pretty cool knife. The handle is very interesting. It's a kind of a unique kind of blondish warm color to it, but cool blade. So this is the Shofuku Awagami, our blue number 2 Nakiri 165mm knife.